Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to the videos, another paid request, this time for DarkMetalSpider. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. If you do use PayPal, make sure to use the friends and family option, usually the best way PayPal-wise. Just makes it easier. But this is for a 1957 film called The Black Scorpion, which... the most noticeable thing about this is the stop motion animation that was oversaw by Willis O'Brien, who worked on King Kong, Mighty Joe Young, among others. And I'm a sucker for stop motion animation. I love the format. I love those type of effects. They don't really get utilized much of any way, shape, or form anymore, which is sad. But like I said, I do love that type of effects that was showcased, much more so back in the day. The setup of the film, you have earthquakes in Mexico that are happening, and this new volcano is created. And we're following these two geologists. One of them was one of the stars of Creature from the Black Lagoon. I think he was the guy that wanted to capture the creature and then gets killed later on. But that guy's the lead American geologist, and you have another, supposed to be a Mexican geologist. They'll look into some stuff, and they see this wreckage and this patrol car ripped apart, and they're trying to figure out what the hell's going on. Ultimately, they do find a baby, and they find a dead cop. They get back to this village. One thing leads to another. They meet a lady. They help her out. She's going to be the love interest of our lead guy. In the village, they talk with a local priest. They meet this boy called Juanito. And you kind of find out there's these prehistoric giant scorpions screwing up the countryside, killing people left and right. And what are we going to do about it? That type of scenario. Now, did I like the film? It was worth one watch for the stop motion effects. Granted, if someone on YouTube did a video where they just showed all of those scenes, I would say that's better worth your time. It was interesting that it took place in Mexico. I don't remember if there was a whole lot of these giant creature, like insect bud movies that take place in Mexico, so it gave a bit of a different nature in terms of geography and backdrop compared to a lot of films, especially at that time. The acting was fine. I didn't have problems with the acting. The characters were pretty stock, generic. The love story was very, very so-so. And when you're with the characters, you're kind of just sitting there pondering your thoughts, waiting for the next bug attack to happen. Like if you compare it to, say, them felt like it was better paced. I don't know, something about that movie felt like it had a little bit more meat to its bones. The 50s film Them about the giant killer ants. And honestly, there were times I kind of sat there and went, this just seems like a lesser version of that movie. Other than some really good stop motion effects. Like there's a bit where they attack a telephone line repairman, and he gets grabbed, and there's a guy running for his car, and the car gets flipped over. And it'll go between the practical puppets, like the up-close shots, that do look really goofy, because they're all googly-eyed, like, and they're slobbering a lot. I don't know if scorpions slobber a lot, but these sure did. Yeah, all this slobber going down, the eyes like, so that's pretty funny. Get some enjoyment out of that. Or the wider shots where you get some, again, nice stop motion. They'll grab people and sting them, especially that you get away with in the 50s. There's a bit where our main characters go into this cave system, they're lowered down by this contraption, and they're trying to find some info, and you have scorpions fighting each other, and nice detailed stop motion. Now, I will say there are times that this did cheap out in terms of its effects, where not a lot, but every once in a while, there would be a wide shot. One instance is when in the finale it goes into Mexico City and it's going around the city. And it'll be these shots where it looks entirely black, as in other stop motion, you see all the details of the face and the legs and the body and all the texture. And there are times where that's all just completely black. Like, see, almost as if looking at a shadow or a silhouette of the scorpion. I don't know why. I mean, obviously, if it's cheaper to do it that way, okay, but I don't see how any director could look at those shots and go, okay, I approve of this. Like, just take them out, or no, wait a minute, this shot isn't done. They looked unfinished. A couple shots, they looked completely unfinished. I'm sitting there going, what the fuck? Like, why? There's some shots that look really good. A lot of them do, but once in a while, a shot like that pops up and go, why? Why is it all black? Why does it look like a shadow? Why does it look like just a shadow that's come alive? I didn't understand that, but let's say for the most part, when they pop in, they do shine. There's a bit with a train where they derail a train and they're just picking people off one by one from this train that they've smashed up, and people are trying to escape and it's grabbing people. Those are entertaining to watch. But like I say, it's one of those films you're kind of just waiting for that to occur. And it's a bit before we first see them. It feels like 30 minutes until we see them. Because like I said, we have the earthquakes that happen, we have the build-up of, again, they find the baby, and they find the patrolman dead, and at the end of visiting the village, being the girl, putting those elements in that the guy and the girl don't fall in love, meeting the boy. And like I said, the characters are kind of stock, generic. That's when you really commend a movie like The Thing from Another World. Another 50s movie. What had that quick, snappy dialogue that they would shoot back and forth with each other, that really made those characters work in that film. And that's why I would say the Thing from Another World is, I think, the best sci-fi film of the 50s, was because they had stuff like that, thanks to Howard Hawks and company making that picture. You wish something like that was put into place here. And then at the third act, when it gets into Mexico City, there's not a whole lot of destruction on the city itself. Maybe because they didn't have the money to do miniatures of it destroying pieces of the city. Just when it gets to the city, you want to see it destruction and up the body count even more. But it really doesn't wreck much of the city. People kind of just running. And then you have the finale in the football stadium, which is a good sequence. Like I said, there's some good scenes of stop motion creature mayhem. Like the first time we see it, deal with the telephone line repairman and some other people in trucks and other stuff. The cave system where they're fighting each other. And like there's this device they're trying to get back up, and it's messing with the device and trying to get it. And the guy's hanging for dear life. And that one guy is trying to escape. You have the train sequence. The finale in the football stadium where it's attacked by tanks. He's even grabbing helicopters and smashing them down. That's fun to watch. But like I said, that's a handful of scenes in a 80 to 90 minute movie. Where again, it's hard to get into the writing of these type of films, as in the plot, because really none of them are going to make sense, and they don't really, not going to even attempt at realism, so it's hard to complain about that. I do find funny if you watch it at the end when the tanks are firing, they fire in such a rapid fire. I'm like, they don't know how tanks work. What do they do? Okay, reload. Just keep reloading. It'd be like they're going, just reloading like this for how many fucking times these tanks fire. Like, goddamn, man. They fire faster than machine guns, some of these tanks. And spoiler, the way they kill off the main one is pretty much there's a spear, they shoot it under the throat, and then I guess they put some electricity. So they're doing that while the tanks keep firing at it. The up close shots look very goofy, but they're pretty funny with the eyes. The stop motion is fun. The characters are stock and so. It was worth a watch. Probably if you watch the trailer, you may get... I don't know. I'm trying to remember how long the trailer... If you like these kind of movies, definitely give it a watch. Depends how much you're into these 50s sci-fi movies. There's a charm to them. To the old school acting and the way these films are shot. I think the opening did not do too bad of a job of keeping you kind of intrigued, because you see the wreckage, you're wondering how this came about, and maybe there was a bit more where you see more of the wreckage and carnage mayhem that these things do, to try and invoke a bit more of a suspenseful threat to these creatures. I mean, now a whole lot of scenes really come to mind later on that was suspenseful or anything. Like I said, the direction was average. Like I said, the highlight is the stop motion stuff. If you want to go on YouTube and find it and things of that nature, feel free. I would never watch the film again, but I'm glad I watched it once. So there you go. But with that said, thanks for watching, take care, and we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.